Welcome to another episode of Invigorate Your Business with George Stroumboulis. Today, I sit down with Michael Morcos. Michael is a social media influencer who focuses on men's lifestyle and luxury travel. Michael has over tens of millions of views across all his videos, over 1 million followers across his platforms, and just really innovative in how he approaches social media. We're gonna break down some of the strategies and tactics he uses to create his content. And he also provides some really good advice on relationships, how to pick up girls, style, fitness, and everything in between. So enjoy this episode starting now. My name is George Stroumboulis, and I'm extremely passionate about traveling the world, meeting new people, and learning about new businesses. Join me as I sit down with other entrepreneurs to learn about their journeys. This episode of Invigorate Your Business starts now. Okay, we're gonna start.
Okay.
This is great, man. We are in downtown Athens, and I'm sitting with a very popular guy. I've been following you for a while. I laugh at your content. I sit there, I love what you're putting out there. Michael Morcos.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And pleasure to meet you as well. It's an honor because I genuinely love when other people out there are looking at my content. They see something that interests them. They follow me. And the fact that you reached out to me and you wanted to do this interview, it was something that I appreciated. And of course, the reason why I agreed to this was because I saw the effort, the love, the passion that you put into this. And I said to myself, you know what? Let's do it. Let's rock with it.
I appreciate it. Yeah. And for the listeners, I genuinely was sitting there coming to Athens. I saw you were in Athens. Quick note, quick response. And you're like, yeah, you know what? I know you get offers all the time. You're a busy guy. So this is cool. We're going to chop it up. And I know, personally, I know people that follow you, right? You could see who follows you. So you appeal to not just women as a sex symbol or just guys. You have a big audience across all platforms, over 1 million followers, tens of millions of views. So if you had to describe who you are and what your presence is online, how would you describe that?
My presence online is a little bit different from my presence in reality. Not that I don't believe or I don't love my presence online as well, but I grew up in a neighborhood in New York. I'm a pure New Yorker. I will always be a New Yorker. I grew up in Queens, and they say you could take the kid out of Queens, but you never take the Queens out the kid.
Right.
So I love New York. It's something that I'm proud to say I'm from New York. Just plenty of New Yorkers will agree. If you're from New York, you're proud to say you're from New York. And I worked really extremely hard in my life with construction, with various different jobs that I've worked in the past. And I would say, being that I'm like an internet personality or a content creator, in a way, I do this for show to make people interested in the videos that I do through it being controversial or funny or whatever. It's just something to entertain others, put a smile on other people's faces, and to get controversial with certain people so they get upset as well, because, controversial topics really get a reaction out of people. Sometimes just being bland and boring and just same old, it doesn't really spark the attention to certain people. So a big part of me is very happy that I'm doing this podcast with you as well, this episode, because they could see a side of me that they didn't see in the videos. Totally. And for example, I'll give you a perfect example, actually. I met a realtor last night, and she turns around and she goes to me, "Excuse me, you're Lebanese, right?" And I go, "Yes, nice to meet you." I was very polite. And she goes to me, "You speak Lebanese?" And I said, "No, I don't speak Arabic. I don't speak Lebanese. I wish I did. My father wasn't really around to teach me as much because he's the one that speaks Greek and Arabic. And although I would love to learn, I'm gonna try to put some time aside to specifically.
Never too late.
Yeah. So, And she goes to me, "Your videos are very provoking." And I said, "Well, yes, they are provoking, but that's the point, because we wouldn't be having this conversation if they weren't provoking." And sometimes the controversial topics, provoking topics, is what people can bring you more attention, but bring you closer to certain people you never expect to. And when they see that side of you, they're like, "You know what? I kind of like this guy, man. He's not as provoking or controversial in real life, but."
Well, just to that point, we were chatting off camera an hour before we even started recording. And again, I didn't know who I was going to meet. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. And we were talking like, he's a normal dude. He's doing some big things.
Yeah.
and he uses this as a resource. So when you say provoking, what are some themes? Because you are a luxury travel expert, right? Yeah. Aspirational people who watch it, it's Miami, Dubai, Mykonos, Athens, New York. You're all over the place, right? So what is it provoking in your content? Like, what do you try to do?
Okay, so going into this luxury travel topic, I'd like to firstly say that everything started with a fantasy. Anything that I've ever lived in my life, it all started with a fantasy, a dream. So when I wasn't financially capable of traveling the world or going to these places, because my family taught me to work hard, my father taught me you're going to work to learn, not to earn. And I bust my ass for everything that I've ever achieved. And there were no handouts. I would have to say that the dream started by working hard in the construction industry. And as I'm working, I'm fantasizing me being in Mykonos. I'm fantasizing me being in Miami. I'm fantasizing me not having a nice watch. It was a fantasy. It was a dream. I'm working in the cold. I'm working in dust and silica dust and epoxy and all this material that's toxic to the body. And I'm just dreaming as I'm working. And it's just this vision, like a vision board where I had in my mind, where I didn't allow my circumstance to dictate my attitude towards life. It was more so work hard and everything will fall into place. And that is exactly what I did. I worked hard. I kept dreaming. And as I proceed into this social media life, even if you look deep back into my content, I didn't have this luxury type of content, luxury travel content. It was a different type of content, but little by little, as I was progressing, making money, I started incorporating that and reinvesting my money into luxury travel for more content creation. And it was something that I learned to love and understand that, wow, those dreams are coming to reality through hard work, dedication, having passion and love for something. With a bad attitude, with negativity, and looking at life in a negative way and playing a victim role is not going to give you an outcome that you deserve. Your outcome that you're gonna get is according to how you think. Your mind is so powerful, and you can achieve anything you put your mind to. And that's why I like to advise young children as well, young men, rather, that if you are going through a certain circumstance in your life, it's only temporary. You write your book. What you're going through currently is just a little chapter that you're facing. That chapter is going to end, and there will be another chapter in your life where you can look back and say, you know what? If I didn't go through chapter 1, 2, and 3 in such a bad, hard way, I wouldn't be able to appreciate everything that I've achieved. So I'm one of the few that can really say that my hard work and the hardships that I faced makes me appreciate where I've came. And I know that I'm not some billionaire, but I'm very proud of myself and very proud of how far I've came. So
absolutely. So let me ask you, that's great advice. Yeah. When you're sitting there in February and it's cold as balls in New York and you're on a job site and you have, you're with the crew and you're doing this and you're envisioning, hey, I want this lifestyle. Are you vocalizing that to anyone, or are you just internally saying this to yourself? Because a lot of the times if you tell the guy, hey man, I'm going to be a luxury influencer, they'll be like, shut up, man, get back to your job site.
Yeah.
Like, how were you envisioning that?
Yeah, listen, I was passionate about what I did at the time being, and that's super important. When you're working and you're physically at a job site or you're physically doing something, whether you're a delivery guy or you're somebody that bags groceries or somebody that's in the construction industry, you must love what you do. You're not going to do it because of the money you're making. You're doing it because you genuinely love it. It was my father's marble business. He still operates it. He still runs it. And I wanted to help my family. I wanted to be there for my family. I wasn't looking to make a living and getting rich off of this. It was more so to make my father proud. I love my father. I love my family. I wanted to make him proud, and I didn't want to disappoint him. So when I did it, it was more so I saw the marble in front of me. I wanted to cut it correctly. I wanted to polish it correctly. And I wanted to put a smile on the customer's face as well. So when you find a passion for what you do, you learn that the money that you're going to make off this is substantially more than something that you're doing just for the money.
Right.
You do something just for the money, it's not sustainable. You're going to make a good amount of money 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, but you're going to hate your life. There's got to be a balance where you're loving what you're doing and you're not doing it for the money. And that will translate later on how much money you make. So going back to the dreaming, I didn't tell anybody else. I wasn't speaking to anybody else about it, but the environment where I was important for me to keep dreaming. If I was in a different line of business and I didn't love what I did, but then I needed to dream to continue moving forward, I probably wouldn't be dreaming. I probably wouldn't be thinking that way because I hate what I'm doing. I hate where I am. I hate the people that I'm around, the coworkers. And that would bring negativity in my thoughts as well, because the people you're around, sometimes you become a product of your environment.
Absolutely.
And I'm a firm believer in that saying that you are a product of your environment. So your environment is very important for the health of your mindset as well. So mindset and location and the people you're around is something that's very important.
Yeah, absolutely is. We could go 18 different directions right here. So let's stay on the luxury influence, right?
Okay.
So you've, over the years, you put it out there to the universe. I want to become this person.
Yep.
You get to this point, and now you're the one that will go somewhere and drop, thousands of dollars on a watch, thousands of dollars for experiences.
Yeah.
Mykonos sunbed, Miami this. It's got to be expensive just maintaining that. How much do you do that for the image now, the persona that you've created, versus are you still enjoying the experiences, right? Because I'm sure a lot of the times you're investing in this because you have to do it, right? Like, how do you balance that?
Well, in the beginning it was difficult because I needed to continuously work really hard, save money, and then reinvest it in what I did. As you move forward and you're making more money and more money and more money, but then also more opportunities arise where people are saying, hey, I've seen your content. I love your content. Stay at this hotel of ours for free, plus we'll pay you. Or, breakfast, lunch, dinner is on us, and you get to stay at our 5-star hotel. We just require X amount of reels, X amount of stories. It starts to fall into place. Everything starts to fall into place. Restaurants reach out to me. Hey man, bring your friends, come through. We'll pay for the whole dinner, whole lunch. We just want a couple stories. And if you require something else from us, let us know. Sometimes I could redirect and say, you know what? Yes, I want the free meal, plus I want X amount of dollars, and this is what will be the exchange.
Right.
Because it can get a little bit insulting at times, because I've had people reach out to me where they turn around and tell me, I have this clothing brand. I would love for you to put a couple stories up and advertise it for me. I'll send you over some goodies. I'll send you over some clothes in exchange for a story.
Clothes for your...
And I'm saying to myself, hold on a second. I worked this hard. I've met so many content creators that get taken advantage of where they don't know their value. They don't see their value, and they don't understand the value that they have and what they can present to the other. And I turn to myself, I'm sorry, I cannot agree to this. Just an exchange, a t-shirt for a story, where I know your business will grow through the fact that I will influence others. That's what an influence does. I influence others to buy this product because, hey, I'm using it, or I bought it.
Right.
Listen, you want a story, you're going to pay X amount of dollars along with this t-shirt, And if you want to continue doing business, maybe we can do something where I can make passive income through your business. So it's just, you have to know your value.
Which is fair. And that's great that you're saying that, because again, for the listeners across your platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, X, over 1 million followers, right? That's massive.
Yeah, it adds up.
So when did you realize, holy shit, people care about what I'm saying, what I'm doing? When was that? And what did that look like?
I will tell you, when I started all this, it was due to the fact that my brother was in social media. He was the pioneer of the family when it came to social media. He
shout him out. What's his name?
What's that?
Your brother. Give him a shout out.
George Morcos is my brother.
Okay, yeah.
One of the greatest individuals that I met. And I don't say this because it's my brother, but I genuinely believe that my brother is a fantastic human being. He works really extremely hard. He's very artistic when it comes to his ideas, and that's why he continuously grows. And you need to have an artistic mind. And that's the only way you can really succeed, with a positive attitude and artistic mind when it comes to social media. He was the one that started social media first. He made his TikTok, he had his Instagram, and I watched him succeed within the first week of TikTok. And I said, wow, I was proud of him. But then that competitive nature of being brothers, competing time and time again. Who's going to make the most basketball shots? Who's going to do the more push-ups?
Yep.
It was just like a brotherly love where I said, you know what? If you could do it, I could do it too, because we came from the same bloodline. Let's do it. I'm gonna show you that I can do it too. It was nothing negative or out of jealousy or anything like that.
It's just brotherly love, right?
It was brotherly love. We just want to compete. Of course, he's very successful, and I'm so proud of him.
Hold on, before you say, when he jumped into it and he had success the first week, like what was it? Obviously, you guys are good-looking guys,
yeah,
right? You have this look. Was it as simple as that? Like based on your looks, like what was the strategy going into it, even for your brother?
Back then on TikTok, when it first came about, because we actually started around the beginning of TikTok, where people used to turn around and say, man, you're on a kids app, you're making TikTok videos. There's a lot of older crowd that I was around that would turn around and tell me, man, what are you doing? What are you and your brother doing? And it was just skits. It was funny dances. It was just the things that would blow up and really go viral back in the day, like voiceovers especially. And we eventually realized that, hey, wow, we're getting a lot of followers off this. People were talking in the neighborhood, you know, how Greeks are in the local neighborhood, friends and family that are a lot older. What are they doing?
Yeah, just like, talking shit, right?
They're on social media. They're making these videos. It could have been very discouraging for somebody that doesn't have a lot of confidence in them. And a lot of people would just like say, you know what? This is kind of weird. Why am I doing this? I'm getting so much criticism from everybody. People are making fun of me. They're calling me this. They're calling me that. And we had a term back in the day. This kid's a bird. Like this. We
use that in Canada.
This kid's a bird. Like this guy's a clown, you know? So I said to myself, I'm getting called a bird. I'm getting called a clown. I'm getting called all these different things. But hey, F it. I don't give a shit. I'm going to continue to do these videos. I'm getting the attention. Man, girls are like messaging me. They're into it. I'm like, whatever. I'm getting these chicks messaging me left and right. What is this guy telling me, that I shouldn't do this video? Okay, whatever. I kept doing it to the point where now the same people that were making fun of us, business owners, friends, are like, man, how can I do it too? How can I start it up, man? Like, you're doing great, man. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, happy,
Meanwhile,
real
it's
happy.
Like the chit chat in the neighborhood. I know what you were talking about behind my back. Now you want me to come to your business and advertise it and market it and put up a story. But back in the day, when I first started, you were calling me a bird. You were calling me a clown, right?
Do you do mental note of like, okay,
I know exactly who's who. Yeah. I can really identify who was the one that was really supportive and who wasn't, you know?
Yeah.
And very, very few were supportive and believed in us. So going back to that social media thing, it was a process. It was a process where we needed time to grow. We grew and we got to the point where now I started realizing that what I do gets the attention of others when I get stopped in the street. When
I wanted to ask you about
this. This is where I realized what I do all makes sense. When I'm in Greece and I get stopped in the street, this was just the other day. Oh, you're the TikTok guy. Oh, I love your videos, man. I'm from Australia. I'm like, this guy's watching me, a Greek kid from Australia. He saw me and he was just in shock, complete shock that I was in front of him.
Right.
You know, I don't look at myself like I'm something, wow, like this massive influencer, celebrity type of guy. I'm very humble. I'm understanding that, you know what, I do what I love, but now I'm getting the attention of others where I don't know who knows me, who doesn't. I could be sitting at a restaurant. I could have 5 people looking at me. Some of them might not even come up to me. They might just say, oh, that's the Instagram guy.
Yes.
But they're paying attention. They're watching everything I do. So I started realizing that there's a lot of more eyes on me wherever I go, whether they will come up to me or not. Everywhere I go, there's got to be somebody. There might be somebody that knows me.
Tens of millions of views on your videos. Some of your videos literally over 10 million views.
Yeah.
That's not just Greece. Like, I'm sure when you're in Miami.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Even in Miami. Man, I love your Habibi videos, man.
I was going to say, are you the Habibi guy? Like, do they know you as Mykonos guy? Like, what do they?
Some people know me. Some people come up to me, and it all is relative on the content that they see. Gotcha. So there's one guy that came up to me the other day at a cigar lounge, and he goes to me, yo, you're the guy. I just sent your video to my buddy because I'm almost 50 years old and I'm single and I just saw your video the other day. I just sent it to my buddy. Man, I love your video.
Yeah.
He knows me for that. Yep. Then I'm in Mykonos this summer and a whole family approaches me. It was a group of people. You're like, Habibi, I came to Mykonos. What now? You know, it's another gentleman goes to me, man, you inspired me. You're the reason why you put Mykonos on the map. I had no idea what Mykonos was, and I came here this summer because of you. And that is just so touching to see that, you know, people are showing up and coming to my country, which I'm proud to say that I'm Greek. And they're coming along with friends and family to see what Mykonos is about. Now, I truly believe Mykonos is a beautiful island, but there's plenty of beautiful islands. I encourage people to go to other islands, not just Mykonos and Santorini, although those are very mainstream and in the media. I encourage them to go to different islands as well, the mainland, Thessaloniki, Kerkira, the Ionian part of Greece.
Peloponnese, which is still mainland. There's so many beautiful.
Which I myself, when I'm here in the summertime, I try to travel to as many different areas in Greece because I don't want people to look at me and say, man, this guy, all he does is go to Mykonos and advertise Mykonos. Guess what? This summer I went to Mani, which was a part of Peloponnese.
Stupa down there, right? Yes.
Kardamili,
oh my God.
I can't pronounce it. Something like that.
Where are those videos? Where are those Habibi come to Mani?
I've made some village videos as well.
They don't hit as much as the Mykonos ones.
I went to Parga, Sivota, Paxous. So I've seen so many different parts of Greece. Meteora was one area where I went to prior to me making content. And I've seen so many different places. The one place that I specifically want to go, which will fill my soul, is Mount Athos, because I truly believe in my religion. I'm Greek Orthodox and proud. And I want to visit Mount Athos one day, which only men can go.
Only men. You need a passport. It's its own country. It's like the Vatican of Greece. Fun fact, we're actually developing custom lighting fixtures for Vatopedi, which is in Mount Athos. And we're trying to create this just very cool opportunity. So maybe next time you're there and praying, it'll be under my lights.
That would be fantastic. So going back to your question on how I realized that my content was, which was what your question was?
Basically, like all these followers, over 1 million followers, tens of millions of views. Like, when did you realize, oh, this is the one thing that I did that really skyrocketed?
Oh, the main driven thing.
And then it's like, wow, I can make this into a profit center. I can monetize this.
Well, it was my Habibi videos in Mykonos. It was the luxury travel videos that I made, where I started realizing, okay, this is my niche. This is where people are really paying attention to my videos. Because a big thing about social media is if you don't find your niche and you're just kind of just trying to be somebody else or trying to do things that other people did that made them successful and try to copy videos, you're not going to sustain that. You're going to make 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 videos. Maybe they do well, maybe they don't, but you're always going to feel lost. You're not going to know how to continue it. So I made those videos. I found my niche: luxury travel, lifestyle, mentoring young men, try to advise young men how to become successful and see the light at the end of the tunnel, because you could get lost in the mix. And then all the controversial videos that create a war zone in the comment section which bring more light to my videos.
Like, what's an example? Like a war zone?
So I made a video where I spoke on the 50-50 thing with men and women. You know, I said, ladies, if a man tells you to split the bill 50-50, pay the bill and never turn back. Like, just tell them, just pay the whole bill and walk away and never look back. And there were so many women that were agreeing, so many men that were attacking me for that purpose, and then I had men attacking me on that video and women agreeing with me and praising me. And then the following year, I made another video with, I'm 48 years old, I'm 29 years old in reality, but I came into character. I said, I'm going to make a video that I'm 48 years old. I look fantastic. Like, I look great. What am I going to do? I'm going to be with a woman that's going to be breaking my balls. What am I going to do? I look fantastic for my age. Look at me and whatnot. And then in that video, I had women attacking me, men praising me, saying, look how great he looks. He looks fantastic. Good for him. So that controversial back and forth is just, people don't know which sides to take. They're like, okay, so this video, he's talking like this. That video, he's talking like that. But at the end of the day, if they have a clear mind and they respect the content, they eventually just love to watch what's next.
You're missing the best part of that video. At the end of the video, you're like, when I'm ready, there's going to be a woman waiting for me. Right? That was like the best line. I'm like, there you go. So how much of that is just, you're just getting a reaction versus you believe those words?
See, part of me understands the 48-year-old that's, single, has a business, a lot of things on his plate, focused, driven, has his routine, has his program, has his meetings, has multiple women that he can have because he takes care of himself and looks great. He doesn't have that anxiety, pressure, and the high cortisol levels that some men face when they have children.
Totally.
And they're around their wife. And believe it or not, yes, at that age, if you take care of yourself, you could have a very, very happy lifestyle. But just like I've met many men at that age, their one piece of advice to me is, man, if I was your age, I wish I could meet a good woman and have children. That's something that's missing. That's something they wish they could have.
Earlier.
They look great. They got all the money in the world. They got their freedom. They don't have that fear of a woman divorcing them, taking half their shit and all this stuff that people talk about. But that's the one thing that's missing. I wish I had kids at a younger age. I wish I had, my wife around me to support me. I would be a lot more focused. Who knows where I would have been? And that's something that they believe in. And then there's the flip side of the 48-year-old that has a huge belly because all he thinks about is providing for his children,
right,
and being the best father figure. Well, there's constant friction between him and his wife, possibly getting divorced. Now he's got to worry about lawyers and divorces and alimony and child support and, splitting things because he didn't have his prenup set. And that man will turn around and say, man, look at me. I've aged. I've gained so much weight. I have to take care of my children. My wife's leaving me and taking half my shit. It's better you never get married.
So you have both sides.
And I see both sides and I understand both sides, but I wish they sat together. They talk to one another about what they believe and what they see.
Sure.
But then they can come to a conclusion that, you know what? It's okay to either be one side of the fence or not. And the grass is greener. The grass ain't greener on the other side. You might believe it because you're not living it. But in reality, the grass is not really greener on the other side. Both lifestyles, in my opinion, are okay. I don't think there's nothing wrong with being a single man without having children and you have that type of lifestyle. As long as you respect women and you take care of them when you do, take them out. Because I truly believe you should always primarily respect women, no matter if you have 3 girlfriends or if you have one wife.
One-on-one, respect them.
You should always respect women. I think I'm a big believer that you should always respect women, even if it's for one date or you're together for a lifetime. And the same thing with a gentleman that's married, overweight. He could be in shape. Not just saying I'm talking just about that, going through a lot in his life with his personal life, with his children and his wife. It's okay. You just gotta be positive, remain positive and look things from a different perspective.
So let's dissect this then. You're 29, right?
Correct.
Coming up on 30. I'm 43. I have 3 daughters, 3, 6, and 9. Okay. I'm 43. Half of my buddies live around the world, London, New York. Half of them are single. The other half are married with kids or just got their first kid right now. And you see the difference. Some of the single guys, right? Living in New York, they're single, they're dating, they got more money in the bank, maybe all this stuff. I'm sitting there and then the grass is always greener. You think it's always greener.
Yeah,
You'll sit there and be like, oh, well, if I was single, X, Y, and Z, but then I have my kids. Like right now, maybe because I'm in that situation, I would never change anything. But you at 29, you've obviously, the last decade plus, you've had fun, right? Mm-hmm. We'll get into relationships and everything, but you've had your fun. You're a good looking guy. You're dating women. Where do you want to be in the next 10, 15 years? Like after seeing both sides of the 48-year-old example, is it just about money? Do you want to have a family and sacrifice maybe some gray hair, some more stress?
Yeah, I think balance is the key, and having the correct partner next to you makes a huge difference. A lot of these men that have went through all this stress and strain and divorce and everything that they're going through, it's because they have either made mistakes or maybe they chose a partner that wasn't somebody that they have good chemistry or they didn't have the same morals or values or the same tradition or whatnot. So choosing the right partner, making sure that the woman you choose is somebody you see as the correct mother for your children, somebody that is God-fearing, because I truly believe a woman that's God-fearing, a good representation of you is somebody you want to be with, somebody that can represent you the correct way when you're not around.
Right.
And somebody that you can trust that they will raise your children with the correct morals and values that you also believe in is the most important thing. And that is the most important thing when it comes down to marriage. Making sure you're choosing the correct partner. And there are men out there, like you said, like your friends in New York that have more money and whatnot, and they're living their life the way they want to live it. And again, that's okay. But my personal future goals are to be with the right person, which you never really truly know if that person is correct or not, because people change throughout their lifetime. Who I was at 18 is not who I am at 29, and I'm most likely not going to be the same person at 45,
100%.
You are always going to be Michael Morcos or George, but you're always going to have a different outlook on life. That's why I don't always have the same mentality no matter what. You see yourself progress and grow into this person and really look at life a little bit differently. So right now, in 2024, I want to be with the person that I see myself being the right fit to be the mother of my children.
Right.
Make sure that she understands my business, what I do, my goals, my aspirations, and to support, because the full support system that I can get from my partner will only spread my wings to go further. Somebody that brings me peace and somebody that I can grow with and understand them as well, because just as much she's giving me, I have to return the same understanding and reinvest as much as I can with her as well. When it comes to my goals financially, I want to continue making money, but going back to doing what I love and not doing it for the money. It's not for the money. It's because I do it because I love it. Do whatever I can because I love it, not for the money. And I've seen for time and time again that when you do things because you love them and you're passionate about them, you do it with ease, you do it effortlessly, you don't believe it's work to you, and you see people respect what you do, and the money just comes your way, the opportunities come your way. Just like you approached me for this podcast, I've been approached in many different various ways, whether it was business or just a podcast, to have a conversation and look into how my line of work can help somebody that has a hotel business, a perfume business, or a business that may not even correlate with what I can offer them, but we find a way to do business together.
Well, and even the way you responded and your follow-up questions, just how professional you are, right? Even showing up today, like to the minute on time, like very North American in that business sense, it seems like. Yeah. Right? Like just
I see. That's the thing with me. I hate being late. And even if I'm a couple of minutes late, I will make sure that I let you know. Yeah. I always take into account, and this is something that I've had issues with previous relationships and women in general with timing, because women love to take their time in things. They're like, oh, we got to be there at 7 o'clock. Okay. I can start getting ready at 5, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start lying. If we're supposed to be there at 7, I'm going to say 6:30, because we're always late, and it freaks me out. It drives me crazy. My heart is palpitating. I go crazy. I hate being late to things. Right. I like to be early. I take into account accidents. I take into account riots. I take into account protests. I take into account street closures. I take into account abnormalities. Yep. Just so I know that I'm going to get there at my time. Even if the GPS says, it's going to take me 30 minutes, I always add an extra half hour for things that I cannot control, because we are human, and yes, we can control certain things, but we also can't control other things as well. So when it comes to timing, it's a big deal. Northeastern,
absolutely. Yeah. Not so much here in Greece, but
no, Greece, everybody's very easygoing, and maybe that's why they live longer as well.
That's what it is.
So, which actually, I did see a study where Greece is the #1 country with highest depression rates. I don't know how accurate that is, but that is something that I would love to learn a little bit more, and kind of dissect and understand why that may be the case, if it is in fact accurate.
And especially COVID accelerated that globally, but here more so. Yeah. Relationships. Are you in a relationship now?
Yes, I'm currently in a relationship with a wonderful young lady that I met here in Greece. Relationship is about a year. We're about a year together. Very happy with her. And
that's amazing. Do you put that on social media?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you do. So
So I do put it on social media, but I like to keep my privacy. I don't get into detail. We've made content together as well.
Yeah.
Whoever wants to see, she's the only woman that I've made a content videos with. I usually make videos alone. I've never actually made videos with women, but because she's also on social media and she's a content creator in Greece, I said, this works out. You make content, I make content, we'll make videos together. And we've made videos together. But when it comes to our detailed relationship, I don't go into detail. It's very under the radar. I don't like to have people in my business.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah,
So,
which is great. So before your girlfriend right now,
Yeah.
what was it like social media wise? Like if you would go out and a woman knows Michael, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he's got money. He's going to pay for everything. He's going to do this. Like, was there a lot of women trying to take advantage of the situation?
see, it was a case of their interest in me were for the wrong reasons. And I tried my best before my girlfriend to meet women without them really knowing who I am and what I'm about. I was very mysterious and I tried to keep it that way. I didn't like to meet women off social media because instantaneously Instagram is kind of like a preview of what you're going to get.
Right.
And women look at that and they're like, who is this guy? You know, wow, look at him, followers. He has this, he has that, you know, but the same woman, would she have talked to me if I just approached her in the street without her knowing who I am? Who knows? Maybe yes,
Right.
maybe no. But that's what I would do. I would meet women without involving myself in social media. I would be very mysterious. So this way, they don't have this expectation or realize that, oh, wow, he has this, he has that, and look at me from a different view, a different perspective.
For sure.
You know, so it's very important. And a lot of men face that with money. A lot of men like to pick their women up in their most fanciest car, if they have multiple cars, or they like to impress them with the most fanciest restaurants. And you're setting the tone to what they're going to expect from here on out. And it's very important. You have to have a balance
Right.
when you meet a woman. There's got to be balance. And there's got to be respect and understanding between the both of you.
So what's your advice then? That's a good point. Someone who has a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll start there and then we'll talk about someone who
Okay.
doesn't have money. Someone has a lot of money. They have whatever car, they go out, first dates, expensive bottles, traveling, all this stuff. Are you going to find quality women if you're leading with that? And how do you sustain that after? Like,
Yeah.
say you fall in love and that's all this person knows.
Yeah.
Where do you go from there?
Okay. So my opinion on this, because it is an opinion, is that men with money sometimes don't know how to lead with the correct mindset. They see that they have money and they believe that this is all they have to offer. They don't see the value in themselves, because authenticity and being okay in your own skin with or without your money is the most important thing for a man. You have to be authentic and feel that authenticity within yourself, because money comes and goes. You could be a multimillionaire and have a very successful company, and then you could face a lawsuit where you can lose everything. What are you going to do when shit hits the fan?
Right.
You need to be able to be authentic within yourself. So leading with money will always lead to catastrophe, especially the fact that women that see the money are usually the women that are going to like you for what you offer. And if you don't have that to offer, you take it away. It's like a baby that you take away their pacifier. They're going to start whining and crying and complaining. And they're going to walk away and look at somebody else that has a pacifier in their hand and try to stop crying through somebody else's pacifier. So it's very important that you don't lead with money. If somebody does have money, to learn how to balance that and show them that you've worked hard and you can put your foot down and say no, you know? So there's got to be a balance. A lot of men with money, they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you want, honey. Yes, 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 yes. And believe it or not, no matter how much money you have, a woman will lose respect for you if you're a yes man. If any and every instance that she asks for something, you say yes, 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 she will be turned off. I've had this conversation with my current relationship. You know, there's times where she'll ask for something, for me to ask if I'm okay with something. I'm not going to get into detail, but she asked me for something and I say, you know what? No, honey, I don't like this. I'm not okay with this. I don't accept that. Mm-hmm. I don't accept this behavior. I don't accept that. That's not okay with me. I hope you can understand that the women that I choose to be with, that I choose to grow with, are women that don't do these things. So no, I don't approve. And she might be disappointed, annoyed with me for 1 or 2 days, but 3 days later, she'll turn around and say, you know what? When we make up, you know what? It turns me the fuck on that you can say no to me. You know, you have an opinion of your own. You're not a man that accepts everything and stands on nothing and doesn't have his own opinion. It's very important that a man has his own opinion that he can stand on, and it's do or die by it.
Yeah.
So that is very important in my personal opinion, for a man with money to be able to have his own opinion.
Yep.
And stand on it.
Yeah. And you see a lot of guys, I see peers and friends, they're just checked out mentally, sometimes in relationships, and they'll just say yes because they don't want the headache.
Yeah.
But you're right. If you are pushing back on certain things, it means you care.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like putting a Band-Aid on it. It's putting a Band-Aid on the relationship. And a woman doesn't want a Band-Aid. A woman wants healing. A woman wants security, but also wants a real man next to her. Doesn't want a man just for money, because money doesn't make the man. You know, man makes the money. You're going to make the money, but you also need to be a man at the end of the day, be comfortable in your own skin, be able to say no to your woman. If she walks away from you, she walked away from you. Guess what? The problem, the trash took out itself. But a woman that you can say no to, and she accepts that no, even though she'll be disappointed, she will be more likely to feel that she's with a real man.
Right.
You know?
So now do the opposite. Take someone in their early 20s who doesn't have money. Right?
Yeah.
They're working, they're figuring it out, but they follow you, they see a lavish lifestyle, they follow all these influencers, and they say, okay, first for me to get the right woman, I need to get this lifestyle.
Yeah.
And then I need to get that. Is that basically what you're preaching?
See, I am preaching that you must work hard first. Forget about women. And this is the advice that I will give to young men. Forget about women, work your ass off, make money, network, because your network is your net worth. And I truly stand by that. Most money that I've made in my life is through networking and meeting the right people, being at the right places at the right time, dressed a certain type of way to make the appearance match what I'm able to offer somebody else. Of course, doing it without money and really understanding what the other person's needs are when it comes to networking. But as a young individual, if you have no money and you want to take out women, it's only going to drag you down. You're going to spend money you don't have. You're going to go in debt. You're going to waste a lot of time and a lot of money on women, and it's going to leave you with nothing. Eventually, you're going to be in your 30s. Women are going to want to have a man next to them that can provide and protect for them, and somebody that can build a future with. And if you cannot provide that for a woman, she will not feel safe with you. She will not want to build something with you, no matter how charming and how good and how loving you are. You know, so make sure you stand on business, you make your money, and as you make your money and you build up yourself financially, then you can, I would say, exercise your options and meet women, you know, but focus on making money first.
That's solid. Focus on yourself.
Focus on making money. And there's a saying that I actually heard this on the internet, and it was something that I really truly agreed with. You will lose a lot of women chasing money, but you won't lose women chasing money. So
okay, yeah,
chase the money, and the women will always come follow up with that. But if you choose to chase a lot of women, you will lose a lot of money in your lifetime.
A lot of money and heartache.
Yeah.
Fashion. Let's talk about style, right? So your image, obviously well dressed, you know, expensive brands, right? Fashion's a big deal for you.
Well, not always expensive. I can walk around with a $3 t-shirt from day to day. From time to time, when I want to pop out, I'll have something expensive to wear. But you don't necessarily need expensive materials, expensive clothing to look good, you know?
So talk to us, like what's your...
So for example, if somebody's, I don't know, a gentleman that's overweight and puts on a Loro Piana suit that's custom made to his body fit, will not look as good as me in a Zara button down and a Zara suit, because I take care of my body. I work out. I make sure that I stay in shape. So it doesn't matter how expensive something is. It's not really necessarily the price of a product or a material that you're wearing. It's more so taking care of your body first and wearing things that look good on you. So
yeah, that's such a great point.
Yeah.
It's a really good point.
Yeah.
So then, fitness wise, right? So the whole How important is that, maintaining everything?
Well, fitness is something that I've incorporated as much as I can throughout my week. I've worked out in the past, I would say twice a day when I was much younger, but I was a broke little bodybuilder, working hard, going to school and working out twice a day until I started realizing, like, man, me making some little bit of money, going to school and working out twice a day is not going to cut it. Like, I'm not going to have a future this way. So I cut down working out for a good amount of time to the point where I was not working out at all. But now, after working so hard, making money, making content, doing what I did, I started realizing, man, your body starts to take a toll on it. You start feeling pains and aches after a certain age. You start realizing, man, blood work is not looking too good. I've had like a little bit of high cholesterol. My doctor said, man, you got to start working out. You don't work out as much. So I've incorporated working out in my daily life, sometimes 3 days a week, sometimes 5. But working out is super important to keep yourself young, healthy, inside and out, because your health on the inside is much more important than the outside appearance.
Yes,
so,
absolutely. So that's a part of it. And with all the traveling, how often are you traveling in your line of work?
I would say I do the back and forth New York, Greece 4 or 5 times a year.
Yep.
Summertime, I'm here for in Greece because we are in Athens now. I come here for about 2.5, 3 months in the summertime. And I do New York, Miami very frequently because I do reside in Miami right now. And wherever else life takes me, whether it's Dubai to make content and meet other people to do videos with, or California, or various different places. It's always somewhere new. It's very spontaneous.
Yeah.
I can't really put my finger on it. Last year, I may have done 15 trips. This year, I might do 10 or 30.
Right.
It all depends on what opportunities arise. Like, I can get a phone call tomorrow or an email tomorrow where one of the biggest podcasts wants to do an interview in Dubai. Listen, if it makes sense for the both of us, let's do it. I'll fly out to Dubai.
That's incredible. You have that flexibility, right?
Yeah.
To be able to do that.
Yeah.
So out of Miami, New York, Athens, and Dubai, talk to me about nightlife. Like, what
nightlife?
Which one has the best?
I would say the best nightlife would be Miami.
Okay.
Miami has the best nightlife when it comes to going out, going to different areas, different type of places. It's special. There's a lot more freedom. Dubai is beautiful. Dubai's nightlife is right up there.
Yeah.
But Dubai is also very strict in the best ways. I mean, I love the safety in Dubai. I love the fact that Dubai, you can go there, wear a $50,000 watch on, walk in the middle of the night, and nobody's going to bother you. So the club life, the nightlife, the lounge, the restaurants are very, very high quality in Dubai as well. But you're kind of restricted. Some people like to party it out and act like wild animals. You're not going to get that in Dubai. You're going to get that more so in Miami. But in terms of what I would prefer, I love the safety and the lifestyle that Dubai brings.
Okay.
So the nightlife is primarily what I prefer. What's better to the majority is Miami.
Okay.
Yeah.
So single guy.
Yeah.
What market would they thrive in more? Like, where do you like
thrive?
Yeah. Like, just being a single person trying to pick up,
Well, definitely not New York.
Yeah.
New York is not the New York of the 80s and 90s, back when I would see clips on YouTube of everybody walking around with newspapers and, talking to one another. And, they're down in Tribeca and the financial district, and you see people talking to one another. And now everybody's antisocial in New York.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to talk to anybody. Nobody is communicating with one another. There's none of that. You see that more so in Miami. In Miami, it's, if you're young, you got energy, all you got to do is go into a gym that a lot of people go to, and before you know it, people will get to know you. People are very kind, and everybody wants to know what you're doing. What are you doing here? There are people from all over the world that go to Miami, young individuals that are not that successful, but once they step foot in Miami, if they truly want to be successful, and they want to, they network. Like we said earlier, network is your net worth. You network with the correct people, you surround yourself with the right people, and it will send you to different avenues where you can succeed in what you have to provide and what you have to offer the other person. Because at the end of the day, if you're going into a city, no matter how good the city is to you, if you have nothing to offer the other person, and you're just, you're like, hey guys, nice to meet you, I don't really have anything to offer, you're not really going anywhere. But let's say you're passionate about, you're a videographer, you're passionate about it. You go into the right places, the dots are going to be connected. Or you're somebody that is in construction, you meet the right people, it's going to send you in the right areas. So Miami is definitely a place for somebody that's young, ambitious, that wants to get places. Dubai is fantastic for somebody that has already kind of established himself and wants to be with the elites. These people will make you multimillionaires. If you're a millionaire and you want to become a multimillionaire, Dubai is the place. You surround yourself with these people that are going to have really important conversations, and you will see that what you provide for them, even as a millionaire, will send you in avenues where you couldn't believe. You know, I personally met this one gentleman in Dubai this summer in Mykonos, and this guy, multimillionaire, he's in trading. He trades raw materials, gold, and X, Y, and Z. And I put him in touch with somebody from Egypt that has a company that trades coal, steel, and other raw materials. And
instant value, right? Instant value.
It's the networking. You know, if I never networked with the Egyptian man that has this company, and I never met this person, how would I? There's money to be made here. Hey, listen, I'm providing an opportunity for you two.
Absolutely.
If I'm able to put you guys in touch and you guys can make money, take care of me.
Absolutely.
And when I mean take care, when it comes down to multi-million-dollar transactions and tons of raw materials being transferred from one country to another, there's a lot of money to be made.
And shared.
And here's just a young man that has no idea about raw materials, no idea about the shipping business, but it's networking and bringing people together. That's super powerful to making money. So my advice to somebody that's very young, this advice shouldn't be free, but the advice that
subscribe below, and then we'll send a
yes, please subscribe. Fantastic guy, and he puts hard work, and there's a lot of quality into his work.
Oh, so I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, so I would say that a young man that's working hard on his free time, it's very important he networks and builds up his phone book, whatever you want to call it, with the right people, because there could be somebody that you meet that needs a product, good, or service that somebody else you've met can provide for.
Absolutely.
And if they have a transaction, even if you're dead broke, bringing two people together to do business will have you making money without even realizing it.
100%.
So being a middleman in a way is extremely powerful for somebody that feels like they have no direction and they're just working a 9 to 5. That's really not cutting it.
Yes. So at the beginning of the podcast, you had said people reach out and say, hey, wear my shirt, give me free promotion. Yeah. It's like, no, you're not just starting out in this world. It's kind of like a graphic designer.
Yeah.
People always say, design this for me and I'll give you exposure. Yeah. If you're starting out, you need to do that. Be a videographer, offer a service.
Yeah.
When you're established like you are, you can. It comes at a cost. I'm so big in, now that you're in my circle, right? And we've connected, I want to bring value to you. Like when I meet someone, I try not to just meet random people all the time, because the minute I meet someone, I need to bring value to them, right? It's just the way I'm programmed. It's like, okay, now I know what Michael does, X, Y, and Z. Let's see, tonight, there's going to be drinks and dinner. There's going to be 7, 8 people, total mishmash of backgrounds, but there's a lobbyist, there's an ambassador, there's a social media guy. We come together. I'm really big on just bringing people together, hosting a dinner or something, and stuff just happens. And it's been working. I've been doing it the last decade. I love doing it. And you start taking care of people and connecting, good things happen from that, right? It happens. Just put yourself in that environment. I tell my nephews, they're early 20s, late teens. I'm like, bring value to someone. Because you see kids now who are teenagers, right away they think, they should be a senior vice president and they deserve this and that. What value have you brought to this world? Nothing.
Correct.
Try to connect stuff, make yourself vulnerable. The money will come. People think that they deserve money from day one. It's like, just build up to that and bring something to someone.
Correct.
You know? So it's cool. Talk to me career in general. Where's Michael going now at 30? Where are you going to be in 40 years? Like, how does this personal brand vehicle get you to your next step and your next step? Because you're building every year.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, what's very important about being somebody that wants to succeed, you don't really share every detail about how you want to construct your future. I've always continued having that dream even though I've got to this point where I once dreamt about when I was working, polishing countertops, I currently still have dreams. And that's the most important thing, that just because you achieve certain things and you hit certain milestones, don't forget to continue dreaming for your next goal. And I'm at a point where, yes, I continue to dream, but I'm not worried about whether it comes to fruition or not, because at the end of the day, I've gotten this far. I believe that I've reached a certain point in my life where I never believed that I could reach it at this age. So I continue to dream. I continue to work hard towards it. I continue to network, and I try to navigate through the people that I meet and also the hard work that I put in towards those goals that I have in mind, which I don't like to share.
Of course.
I don't like to share. Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible where you're going. We didn't touch upon this. I'm so curious. Obviously pre-girlfriend, but even now, what do your DMs look like? Like, what's some of the craziest shit that...
Oh, Lord.
That guys and girls are said?
Listen.
Like, you don't have to share handles or anything, but...
Yeah, no, I'm not going to get into detail about that. But, okay, so the most craziest stuff, which is just off the walls, craziest, same gender men reach out to me and they go off the walls, which is like, dude, this is weird. I'm not into men. Maybe some people are into men, but I'm into women. And the fact that I'm getting like all these crazy messages from men and really, really vulgar messages, were probably the craziest things that I've seen in my DMs. Another crazy thing that I get in my DMs are women having this idea that they're talking to me and that we're in love, and this, idea that we've been together. And the reason is because if you go on every platform, which I'm very, I kind of feel bad for these people, but it's because they truly believe that they are speaking to me. If you go on TikTok and you type in my first and last name, there are over 500 fake accounts of me. If you go on Instagram, you will see multiple fake accounts of me that are stealing my content, stealing my videos, stealing my pictures. Heck, they even have this AI generated way of taking my voice through my videos to have full-blown voice messages towards these women. And there are women out there that are getting scammed day in and day out by talking to me, quote unquote. They think they're talking to me, but they're talking to somebody from God knows where without getting into detail.
Are they trying to get money out of these women?
They're trying to scam these women. They're telling these women, I've had one lady tell me, somebody told me that you were in Lebanon and you're stuck there and you need money. Please send it to me. I'll give it back to you when I can, babe. And, these women are sending money. A lot of them are older women. They're targets because they're lonely, divorced, lonely, older women. And they see this one guy, this internet personality. Oh my God, he's talking to me. And it's not as if it's not believable, because I'm not Brad Pitt or somebody where it's almost impossible to believe, where it can raise some alarm.
Sure.
I'm just an internet personality that's on the growth, and it's very believable. Like, oh, shit, man, maybe this is him.
Yeah.
They start hearing the voice notes and whatnot that are AI generated, and they're like, oh my God, I'm talking to him.
Jeez.
And there are women that are getting scammed. So, myself getting messages or my girlfriend getting messages from these random people saying, your boyfriend is a cheater. Guess what? My girlfriend is very well aware of what's going on. They're not going to believe this one woman that thinks they're talking to me. Thankfully, I have a very secure woman that believes me and understands what's going on because she's seen it hands-on. She's seen it hands-on. So that's troubling. But when it comes to women that are interested in me, I've seen women call me daddy, fly me out, and just a lot of other vulgar stuff that are, videos, which I don't open because I know what's hiding behind those videos. And I'm like, I can't believe women are actually doing this, but.
So you never open the videos just to see what it is. Okay.
No. I'm okay.
So stop sending videos.
Yeah. Stop sending me videos, explicit content. Okay, I'm okay. I don't need to see that.
Send that to his brother.
Yeah, maybe my brother, he's single. Maybe he's young. He'll appreciate it. I'm good.
Oh, dude, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
What are red flags? Advice, like red flags. You go on a first date with a woman.
Okay.
What are instant red flags that guys should just run?
Instant red flags that a man should run.
Yeah.
Well, red flag is if the phone is face down. If a phone is face down, there's something that she's hiding. It's not something that it's obvious. It's obvious. You have your phone face down, honey. We just met. You're not flipping it over. When you do flip it over, you're just quickly putting it back down. That way it's obvious that you don't want me to see something. You know, there's something that you're hiding. Maybe you're still involved with your ex. Maybe you shouldn't be here. Maybe you have a boyfriend. Also somebody that is consistently talking about their ex-boyfriend. That is a big red flag for me. I truly believe that if you briefly speak about an ex, it's okay.
Okay.
If it's a brief, quick conversation. But when a woman in the beginning, and most women do this, I've seen it time and time again, they always place the blame on the man. My ex-boyfriend was this. He did this to me. He did that to me. He did. Guess what? It's okay. You can see the mistakes you've made, but they never do. They're in denial. They're always going to say that they were the princess. They were the queen. They didn't do anything. They never harmed. They never upset. They never lied. He was the problem. And the problem with women is that if you cannot take accountability for the mistakes you've made, because we are human, we all make mistakes in relationships, you will never grow and you will drag that into the next relationship. So make sure you're able to take accountability for any mistakes you've made. Maybe you upset him. Take accountable for it. Say, you know what? I upset him. You know, at times he was disappointed in me. I made a mistake. Or it's okay to be accountable for your mistakes or own up to it.
Sure.
How many times have men got out of relationships? I'm sure in the past you have too, when you meet a girl and you're like, you know what? Yeah, me and my ex broke up because, you know, I kind of fucked up. We had disagreements. There was a time where I kind of messed up too. She upset me at times, but I messed up. And men are more likely to own up to it, but then they will have a healthier relationship with the next person they're with. So women must learn to take accountability so they can have healthier relationships with who they're with in the future, because it's not okay to drag all that negative and lack of self accountability into the next relationship.
Yeah, those are great red flags.
Those three are like really important to
Absolutely.
me. Yeah.
Grooming, just not grooming minors. I mean, just self-care grooming.
Yeah, hygiene and stuff like that.
What are like 3 essential things for you that you live by? Like just from a style standpoint that you can't live without.
Okay, I always take care of my hair. I always want to have
perfect hairline, by the way. I'm like envious.
I appreciate it. I like to take care of my hair. I love my hair. I make sure that I use correct products, good healthy products, no parabens, no sulfates, stuff like that. I try to keep that out of my hair. I make sure that I get my hair cut specifically with people that I can trust that work on my hair. So it's very
male
important.
or female?
For myself.
No. But do you go male stylist or female, or do you not care?
When my hair's a little bit longer, if I need to find a female stylist that can work with longer hair, then I would go with a female. But I have a male that works on my hair here in Greece, and I have one specific person in Miami that works with my hair that I trust, because man, I've had horror stories with my hair where I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait for it to grow back. I mean, it is just hair. Who cares? But it's not a big deal, but it's very aggravating when somebody does something to me that I didn't ask for,
Absolutely.
So if there are any barbers out there that are listening, please make sure when a client wants you to cut this much hair, you follow with this much hair, not with what you believe may look good for him. So that's that's super important. Some people have this artistic mind. Yeah, I got you. You want to fade with a little bit of this? And before you know it, they chopped it up, Or my biggest pet peeve when it comes to, my beard, if I tell the guy, I want my hairline here very high and I want this very low. And then all of a sudden they bring it down here and it looks like I have these tiny little pork chops. I'm like, that's not what I wanted,
Right.
Try to listen next time. Just shave it all off now, So yeah, grooming, taking care of my hair is very important. Also, I love to take a shower before my workout and after, but before. I cannot have a healthy, enjoyable workout if I feel like I haven't had the most cleanest body. So clean body, clear mind, healthy workout, good workout. If I go to the gym, which has happened before, I'm rushing, having a long day, and all of a sudden I went in the gym and I'm like, man, I think I smell a little bit. I don't like this. I'll drop it and I'll go home. I want to smell good. I want to smell good. I'm not okay with myself smelling around other people. I'm not okay with it. So please, that's another thing. Man, if you cannot have a good scent when you're going to the gym or you smell, please go home, take a shower and come back. Please do not come to the gym if you haven't showered. That's
okay. So listen, 90% of the guys listening won't do that. So you need to come out with a custom fragrance for guys on the go that just mask that shit. You know?
They need to do something, because let me tell you, man, if you go to the gym and you smell, I'm running away from you. Right. And so is every single woman that you want.
That's good advice. Speaking of women, going back to this last one, then we're just going to talk about closing. You've been amazing, man. This has been awesome sitting down with you. At a club, at a cafe, at a bar, some tips for guys on how to approach a woman without social media bullshit.
I love this question.
Okay, so
I love this.
Give some good advice that people.
Okay, so you want to approach a woman. You're not going to approach her in an aggressive manner. You want to seem mysterious. Make sure that if you are intending to go out for that purpose, that you want to meet a woman or you want to meet somebody, the best way is not on social media. I personally believe that in person is the best way to meet somebody. You want to remain mysterious. You want to remain interesting, well-dressed. Make sure your hygiene is on point. You smell good. And that's not just body, but also orally as well. You want to smell good. But never approach a woman in an aggressive manner. If you see a woman that you're interested in a room, just look at her. Show your dominance through your eyes. Show them who you are through your eyes. Look at them. If you see them looking at you back into your eyes for more than 5-6 seconds, they look away. You kind of look away. And then within the next 2-3 minutes, you kind of look back at her and she's still looking at you. There's a likelihood that she finds something interesting about you, because the eyes never lie. It was in Scarface, and I truly believe in that. So when you are looking around the room, if a woman is consistently looking at you, there's a reason for that, you know? Next thing, if you don't want to seem aggressive and you see her sitting around with her friend, tell the server, I got the bill. If you're financially capable, of course, tell them that I want to take care of their bill. There's times where in the past where I look at a group of friends and I see these girls sitting there having a couple of drinks. I'm like, you know what? Please tell them that I covered it, you know? So the server turns around and says, the gentleman over there covered it. There are times where I'll approach this woman and I can turn around and say, it was a pleasure meeting you. I hope you had a lovely night. Gentlemen, very, very nice. Stay mysterious. Ask her what her name is and whatnot, and just walk away. And if she's there again, fantastic. If it's meant to be and she kind of comes back to the same restaurant time and time again, or maybe you find out through the server who she is, or maybe she might turn around and find you on social media. If you tell her your name, she might turn around and find you. So somehow, some way, if somebody's really interested in you and she's interested in you, she will find you.
You're right.
If you show that you're too interested, a woman will lock up and not be interested whatsoever. If you just pay for her drinks, pleasure to meet you, you walk away and you don't show any interest whatsoever, other than the fact that you did that nice gesture, like, who was this guy? Why wasn't he interested in me? Why didn't he want to find out more about me? Why did he just pay and leave like that? What's going on with this guy? And she will go out of her way, like a little detective, because women are detectives, to try to find out who you are. So there's a balance between interest, but also respect for yourself as a man. You know, because. And
that's at all ages, you're saying? Like your advice is a 20, 25-year-old, 30, same approach?
As long as you're financially capable of covering bills. But if you're not financially capable, eye test, maybe you can approach them and say, you know, you look lovely tonight. I don't know you, but you look lovely tonight. My name's Michael. What's your name? And keep it as that. Pleasure to meet you. Walk away.
Yep.
Don't, what's your Instagram? What's your number? What's that? Pleasure to meet you. You look fantastic. Have a great night. Done. Keep it as that. And if there's going to be interest in both ways, somehow, some way, if the stars align, you will meet again. You know, it's okay to compliment somebody and walk away from it.
Right.
You know, you don't have to be aggressive. What's your number? What's this? What's that? That's how a woman has no respect for you, because you don't stand out. You look like every other guy that's interested in her, and you come off as a tool.
Totally.
So that's my advice to young men and men of all ages.
That's amazing advice. Yeah. You've been amazing with the time.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to share with everyone in closing? Like anything that you're working on that you could share? I know there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Okay. We're going to put up all the links on how to get in contact with you, follow.
Okay. So one thing is that because my cousin has a real estate company here in Greece, and because I've worked with him consulting and helping him, and I've seen him do magical things in Greece, between helping people buy their dream home or get their golden visa, and people that are third generation Americans that don't really want their properties anymore in Greece and they want to sell it.
Right.
If you're interested in buying or selling a property, you can contact me and then I will redirect you to my cousin. So if you're interested in the real estate market in Greece, I can help you with that. That's number one. And number two, I want to thank each and every person that is supportive of me, and thank even the haters that look at me and laugh and joke with me, because you are part of the reason why I am who I am. And I do this for you guys, the supporters and the haters. I genuinely love what I do, and I will always do my best to make you guys proud. And if you ever see me in public, you can come up to me with ease, knowing that I will talk to you and I will be genuinely interested in getting to know you as well. Because I've met celebrities in the past where, you know, I see them, I'm like, oh, starstruck or whatever. I'm not a celebrity, not saying that I am, but, you know, I'll see a celebrity and I'm like, oh, excuse me. Like, I'm like, wow, man, I looked up to you, man. God. And this is how you are with me. I'm not going to say who or what. I don't want to badmouth. Even after that experience, I won't badmouth a celebrity or somebody like that. Excuse me. Please don't get away from me. So I'm like, wow, man, I didn't expect that. So through that, I'll always keep my composure, meet someone, and be interested in them as well in a brief conversation. Of course, please come up to me in a manner where I know that you're not going to harm me, because I can get really aggressive and really nasty if I feel like my life is in danger.
Yeah. Queens, New York. Let's not forget that. Right?
Yeah, like as long as you come with me with respect and, you know, smile and you're here for the right reasons, I can reciprocate that in no harm. You know, but if I see you're watching, you're looking at me, and it's just you're watching me for a very long, and I start picking up on weird flags, like red flags, signals. It's like, I'm very observant of my surroundings. You know, I grew up in New York. I know what's up. Like, I know if somebody's there for the right reason or for the wrong reason. So please approach me in a way where I know that you're there for the right reasons.
Absolutely.
You know? So,
in closing, can you give us a little Habibi, a little,
Okay. So Invigorate Your Business is okay. I'm going to look straight into the camera. Just, this is for my buddy right here, George, because he's fantastic. He's an amazing guy. Okay. So Habibi. Forget every other podcast and invigorate your business with my buddy George.
Yeah, let's go, baby. So you're awesome, man.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah, man, it's fantastic being here. I'm very, very interested in watching more episodes and also learning more about whoever else you interview. So, and if you ever need anything as well, I'll be here. Just like you said, you can help me. I'm here to help you in any way, shape, or form. And that's the beauty about business. That's the beauty about networking. And take notes, ladies and gentlemen, because like I said, your network is your net worth.
Absolutely. And final comment from me is, you need your own podcast, man.
Yeah, that would.
You absolutely do. Like you're so awesome.
Yeah, man.
Great content right now, and just we're connected now. Moving forward, we're connected.
We'll see what's in the works, man.
Let's go, brother.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it very, very much, and best of luck to your future as well.
Appreciate that.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Invigorate Your Business with George Stroumboulis. Please hit the subscribe and like buttons and follow me on all the main podcast streaming channels. Also, please share your comments when you can. I appreciate your help in expanding this network to a worldwide audience. Until next time, stay invigorated.